Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We have Stevie, Shaka and Gab joining us to answer your questions. And we received the very upsetting news that the Gab and Juls podcast will not be available during the summer. We did get spoiled, obviously, during the Euros. We were getting it from Germany.
I told you the ropes.
Gab and Juls, they're never in the same room at the same time, you know. I've questions about that.
Are they even friends?
Well,
We do have a question, though, Gab, about this. How are you spending your time when not doing the podcast with Jules?
It's a very valid question. I do have a day job writing for ESPN.com, as you may have heard. But no, I'm giving myself a little holiday. Gonna hop across the channel to France. Take in one or two Olympic events, and then, but just as a fan, just as a civilian, and then heading down to Cap d'Antibes in the Côte d'Azur in the south of France.
Very nice. I thought you were going to say hop over to France to see Jules at his holiday home. Still be with him.
always welcome.
As a civilian.
I may yet bump into Jules in Paris, to be fair.
Ah, you see?
Just a giraffe restaurant, if you were watching
Yes,
the show.
yes.
That's where you might see him. Okay, for Stevie, if you were still in your coaching days, which job would you take between the US men's national team job and the England job?
England job. Easy. Absolutely easy. Mm-hmm. Aye. You want the best players you can get. Easy. It's not even. See, how long did it take me to answer that?
Well, I just
It's
wonder
not
if it's
even
because you
close.
want to sabotage England. That's my
No,
concern.
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I've never heard a more guilty not to talk in my
Okay.
Tell
life.
me, Gab.
Okay, shouldn't a more appropriate question for Stevie be which job would you take, the US men's national team job or the Scotland job?
Aye.
Oh,
Yeah, that is a tough. Yeah.
then what?
Well, it's Scotland, isn't it? Again. You're dealing with better players. I still think Scotland are a better team than the US.
You want the best players?
Any coach will you take. If there's three teams sat in front of you, right? I don't care what the name in the back of the jersey is. You'll take the best lot of players. The team who's got the best players because you've got a better chance. It's really straightforward. Really straightforward.
Shaka, what do you think of the published FIFA ranking of national teams? Obviously, you are the king of power rankings.
Yes, that's we've
it's
established. That's what
Very
we've
interested
established.
to know what you think of this.
Is this post Euros?
Is this post?
This can't be post Euros, right? Surely Spain has to be the highest rank.
Yeah, why would Netherlands be behind Belgium?
Surely. So let's assume that this is before.
And Italy, how can Italy be in it?
I'll be honest, the FIFA rankings and how they've done it has always kind of confused me. And it kind of goes back to, not to pick on Belgium, but Belgium were number one for ages without ever winning anything. That was before.
Yours is
There's
absolutely way better
There's a
than that
difference
one.
in the algorithms that
Well,
you guys
Well,
use.
he's
and your
rightly not
systems.
even got Brazil in it. Brazil can hardly win a game these days. There's a reason why they're sixth in the World
That's
Cup
right.
qualifying.
That's right. Yes.
So,
Yes.
Shaka, sorry, you're right. FIFA, no, I think they need to headhunt you.
I'm available.
Yeah.
Gab's got something to say.
So, no, look, the FIFA rankings, it's pure maths, right? They look at results, and then they judge the value of the opponents. And they revise these every few years. But, and this is a totally true story I'm about to tell. You used to be able to go and game the rankings, especially back in the day when you played friendly matches and whatnot. Just as much as, now it's a bit different, especially for the European teams. And, if you wonder why Italy are so high, it's because of the Nations League. They play tougher opponents, they do well against the tougher opponents, and so you get ranked higher than you would otherwise expect, right? But it used to be slightly different, and it used to be where if you're a big nation and you played a little nation, even if you beat them, it might really hurt your rankings. And way back, I think it was like in 2014 or 2015, Antonio Conte was the Italy manager. I got an email from this guy that I think he was a professor of mathematics or statistics. It was a Romanian guy, and he said, "Look, I'm an expert in FIFA rankings. I know how they work. I want to advise FAs. Can you put me in touch with somebody at the Italian FA? Because the way they're scheduling their opponents in friendlies is really, really dumb, and it's going to hurt them." So I thought this guy was a bit of a quack, but whatever. I put him in touch with Antonio Conte and the Italian FA. I later found out that they completely ignored him, and they scheduled, like, I think they had a friendly against San Marino, something akin to that. As a result, their FIFA ranking was lower than it should have been. As a result, they weren't seeded leading up to the 2018 World Cup. As a result, they found themselves in a group with Spain. As a result, they finished second, ended up in the playoffs, and screwed everything up against Sweden. And that's why Italy missed out on the 2018 World Cup. And I always think back to that email from that nice Romanian gentleman. Maybe, just maybe, if Antonio Conte had paid attention to that, well, he was no longer the manager, obviously, for qualifying, but if the Italian FA had paid attention to this, maybe they wouldn't have had that stupid friendly against San Marino or whoever it was, and maybe, just maybe, they would have been seeded, they wouldn't have had to deal with Spain, and they would have gone to the World Cup in 2018. So these rankings are really important, and you almost need to have a math nerd in-house to make sure that when you schedule your friendlies, you don't screw things up.
I have one question. Gab started that by saying the FIFA rankings are all about math, as if to suggest mine are just kind of thrown together before we come on air.
How dare you?
You know,
How dare you,
I
Gab?
take
Highly
offence.
intellectual algorithm that's used.
Yes. Highly sought after.
He could have just slapped you on the face. That's what you should
And
have
I
done.
think
That'd
they
have
are
been the
the
same
new-
I
thing.
wasn't quite sure how to take that, Stephen.
That was a slight on you.
Well.
Terrible behaviour.
It's a simpler, less complicated formula than Shaka uses. That's all it is.
I like that better. I like that.
that one better? No,
Yes.
right.
Here, Gabriel.
That's the second save of the day, Gab.
Here, Gab.
Yeah, it's been
Second
good.
save of
been
the
good
day.
with the save. Okay, we've got one for you, Gab, coming up next, and it's about Spain. In a hypothetical combined 11, do you think anyone from this 2024 Spain 11 gets into either the 2012 or 2008 Euro-winning 11? In my opinion, not even Rodri gets in.
Where's Craig when you need him?
Yeah, that's it.
This is a great point. I've written about this. The 2012 team, I mean, look, I think you would have
Smashed
somebody
Italy.
at center forward other than Cesc Fabregas, just because it's Cesc Fabregas. So, you know, maybe you would put Morata. I know a lot of people don't like him, and maybe you can have a Lamine Yamal, David Silva conversation, possibly. But beyond that, I prefer Rodri to Busquets, but I know a lot of people would prefer Busquets. But yeah, no, that team was a team of superstars, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. This team, I got some future superstars, one or two current superstars, a couple guys who maybe once were superstars, and a lot of guys who are just somewhere in between, but for a month, this June and July, played like absolute world beaters.
All right. Where's the article? Right here on ESPN.com, Gab.
I'm sorry?
Did you say there's been an article on this from you?
Yeah, no. I think it was after the win over France. I just wrote a piece about how different this team is to the 2012 team, and how a lot of those things that we say about how you need superstars and also you need winners and you need experience, all this stuff. You know, if you go through this current Spain team, very few of these guys have actually won anything significant. Very few of these guys actually have the experience of being winners, the winning mentality, all that kind of intangible nonsense that coaches spout when they don't know the answer to something. And they talk about heart and winning, blah, blah, blah. No, these guys aren't winners. If you look at their CVs, most of them, they just show that they were on the pitch, just better footballers playing better football.
I think there's an argument for Danny Carvajal and also Marcus Senna. That was the 2008 team.
Yeah, it was in 2012. Would you take Carvajal over Arbeloa? Yes, you would. Sorry. Former Liverpool legend Alvaro Arbeloa, of course.
Yeah, but he always put in a shift for his team and his country. All right, Shaka. Shaka often says that goalkeepers are the most hard-working players.
Yes.
And play the most difficult position.
That too, yes.
While Stevie says you never lose your touch as a footballer. Who would win a match of 11 Shakas in his athletic prime versus 11 45-year-old Stevie?
God.
Shaka, you'd have no chance. When I was 45, I was still playing.
Still play what?
Rummy.
Paddleable.
God.
I don't know about you lose your touch, by the way. I was playing with my grandson the other day.
You're the one who said it.
Did I?
I'd like to change my answer, please, again.
I said it in jest.
What do you think, Shaka?
I'm back in 11 me's against 11 45-year-olds.
I mean, we've seen Shaka's touch in the Trinidad and Tobago advert.
That's right. On the beach.
On the beach as well.
There's a reason why goalies were always last in the running.
We wanted to be.
Yeah.
That was our target. Yeah,
Shaka says Shaka. Stevie says 45-year-old Stevie.
No chance.
Let Gab settle the argument, can we?
Come on, Gab. Come on, Gab.
I mean, I would have some reservations because it would be a 45-year-old Stevie in goal as well, right? Which wouldn't exactly fill me with confidence, whereas I would imagine the Shakas could do a pretty good job defensively. But yeah, I remember Stevie's touch, and if 45-year-old Stevie still had the touch and ability of 25-year-old Stevie, packaged in the body of 45-year-old Stevie, I might just go with the Stevies.
Hypotheticals going on.
That's where you lost it. Packaged in the body of 45-year-old Stevie.
You should have stopped after the first hypothetical, Gab.
Oh, God.
I was so happy with the first bit.
Oh, goodness me. I'll tell you what, though, right? I think the thing you don't recognize, I'm sure Stevie would back me up here, is how quickly you slow down.
Yeah.
So, like, after I retired, I'd go play pickup games and whatnot against younger players. And I was amazed at how fast they move. And I'm like, hold on a minute. When did I slow down? Like, in a matter of a couple of years, you just slow right down. And everything just seems so fast. And I think that's the big issue. It's not whether I'm better than Stevie, not more talented, but just that at 25, let's say, you move so much faster than 45 years old.
Scary. All right, Stevie, are you concerned for Liverpool next season? Do you think they'll make the top four?
I'm not concerned. I think they will make the top four. I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I just don't believe that they're going to be challenging for the title. I would say that. And I wouldn't call it a concern either, because we've seen with Man United how hard they've had it with Fergie. I mean, OK, Klopp wasn't quite as successful as Fergie, but it's a similar situation where you're following somebody who looks as though it's just going to be impossible to follow. So, yeah, concerned is not the word. I think they will be in the top four. I just don't believe they're going to be challenging for the title.
Gab, you are named head of the Italian FA, with your sole purpose being getting Italy to add another star to their shirt. Who are you hiring as a manager, and what changes are you making?
Available.
Oh. So yes, I'd be firing the current manager, Luciano Spalletti. Who would I hire as a manager? Honestly, I think with some exceptions, people who win World Cups and major tournaments, they're not necessarily big name managers who've had a lot of club success. I just want somebody who's decent, who creates a good team spirit, who can pick the right players, and who can execute a simple plan during the tournament. And so for that, I'd be tempted to go for somebody perhaps like Vincenzo Italiano, just left the Fiorentina job. I think he's a very good manager. I'd be going for somebody more low-key like that. I think Daniele De Rossi would be a wonderfully romantic choice, but I think he's happy at Roma. I'd be going for something like that, and I'd put my resources towards other things in terms of player development and stuff like that, rather than just giving them all to, whatever other big-name manager or supposedly big-name manager the FA hires.
Gab said two things there.
It's just,
Gab said two things there that, for me, made this job tailor-made for none other than Steve Nicol. You need somebody to build team spirit.
yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Stevie's barbecues are second to no one's.
My nickname was Soch, which stands for
There you go.
sociable.
And
Because you used to get everybody together.
And then he wants somebody with a simple plan. Let's be honest. Stevie is
My
simple.
plans are very
Stevie
simple.
is as
Always.
simple as they come.
Stevie's
There
very
is
simple.
Nobody more simple.
Straightforward, simple, very easy to follow. I'm your man.
How do you think you'd do at learning Italian?
Have to learn Italian.
He's struggling with English.
I've only got to the end of the Oxford English Dictionary.
Oh, well. Stevie, as a player or coach, do you sense when a team has the right stuffing or ingredients to win? Or do these abstract qualities only become apparent when it's obvious to everyone?
No.
I have to say stuffing. Why are you asking Stevie about stuffing?
No, you definitely see it and smell it. Certain things will happen on the field. No, absolutely, 100% as a coach. Again, I guess it goes back to the question you had earlier about, what team do you take? I guess if you were to really look into it, sometimes it's not about the names on the back of the jersey. It's about the mix and the characters that you have that ends up turning into what the question is. You end up with the ingredients that all the great players in this other team might not have. So, yeah, absolutely, 100% you do. Because it makes you, when you have that, or when you realise your team's got all of those things, you can get to 65 minutes in a game and everybody's going, make a sub. And you go, well, I actually don't, because I know these guys. I know what they're capable of, and I know they're not done, and they're going to come with something shortly. So, yeah, you need to know all these things, and you need to know, as much as you need to know they've got it, you need to know when your team doesn't, so you can try and get it.
I want to get my hands on some 3 Points body spray by Stevie Nicol. Gab, play, bench or sell from the following 90s Italian tricksters.
Oh, man.
Roberto Baggio, Roberto Mancini and Gianfranco Zola.
Oh, that's...
Oh, I think
I
that's
hate
this
them.
one.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how Gab does.
All right. Okay, so for me, and everybody will disagree with me, in terms of ability, an all-around package, the number one would be Roberto Mancini. And even though he didn't always produce it, but it was all there with him. So I'd have to put him at number one. And I guess you probably have to bench Roberto Baggio, and it breaks my heart because I've had the privilege of knowing Gianfranco Zola for many, many years. But Yeah, that's my hierarchy. And if he hadn't been unfairly sent off in 1994 against Nigeria and then been suspended, who knows? Maybe he would have played in that final against Brazil, and maybe Italy would have had 5 stars now instead of 4.
Maybe.
I would have gone Baggio. You know, Gab knows more about all of these guys more than I do, I'm guessing. I would have gone Baggio, Mancini, and Zola. I'm surprised he didn't go Baggio, actually.
Most
All
people
Italians
would.
would go Baggio,
Most
I was
people
going to
would.
say. All right. Gab, what English food did you miss the most while you were covering the Euros in Germany? Or is that even a possibility that you missed English food at all?
Yeah, I did miss English food, and I missed a good curry, which is the standard national dish, at least where I live in England and in most of the country.
National dish of England.
So, yeah, there is fine Indian food in Berlin, but it's just not the same thing.
Do you know what I miss about home? Proper bacon.
Yes, it's very different, isn't
I
it?
think it's the only thing.
Yes, because it's
Proper-
much more of the bacon and just a bit of the fat, where
Yeah.
here it's lots of fat and
Sort of
streaks,
thingy,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the bacon, definitely.
And the gravy.
No,
No?
not really.
You sounded so northern there. Oh, man.
Oh, the gravy.
Oh, gravy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the gravy and mushy peas. For Stevie, start, bench, or drop these Scottish dishes.
Ooh,
Haggis,
like culinary expertise.
Cullen skink.
Oh,
Is that how I say that?
Cullen skink. I've no idea.
I've never heard of that. Or Stovies.
What's it? I don't know what
I don't even know
Stovies
what
is.
Stovies is either.
Well, haggis is
Well, we know haggis.
absolutely a. You either love it or you hate it. There's no in between with haggis.
Tell the
And I
audience
hate
what haggis is.
it. It's the innards of a sheep.
Stuffed, right?
Oh, aye, it's just it's just, and when it's cooked, it tastes like dry wood. I mean, it's as I said, you either love it or you hate it. I particularly hate it personally. So I would definitely have haggis right now out the window.
All right.
Stovies is fantastic.
Hold on, I've got
Stovies
it.
is lovely.
What's Stovies?
Cullen skink
Hang
is
on.
a thick Scottish soup made of smoked haddock, potatoes, and onions.
Ooh, that sounds
And
nice.
an authentic Cullen skink will use Finnan Haddie. Woody.
Right.
Finnan Haddie.
So here's the thing with Stovies. Stovies is leftovers that you put in the pot and then you cook it together.
Any leftovers
You
or
make it-
leftovers from like a Sunday roast
you-
or something.
It can be anything you want.
And you just fry it up afterwards.
Yeah, you just cook it, put it all together, heat it up. Stovies,
Right.
great. But I tell you what, the Cullen skink sounds good.
So we're going,
It kind of looks and sounds like a New England clam chowder with
yeah.
haddock instead of clams, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to go Stovies, Cullen skink, and unfortunately haggis is out the window.
All right.
Yep.
But his dog is called Haggis. That dog
dog's
isn't out
called
the
Haggis,
window
actually.
because
Out the
nobody can
window.
even lift it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 160
He's watching.
pounds.
big man.
He is watching, he's fuming. Can Stevie tell us more about Troon? Has he played the course or does he know the area well?
Well, I was brought up in Troon. I know all the golf courses. The only one I haven't played is Royal Troon. The club right across the road from it, which is the sister to Old Troon, is called Portland. I played that tons of times. My dad was a member there. Last time I was home, I played it with my mate. Troon's a seaside town. So in the summer, it's really busy. Everybody comes down the shore. As I said, it's a seaside town. Yeah, millions of pubs. I mean, in the high street, even still, like every 3 doors is a pub. What else can I tell you about Troon?
I think I
That's
played Troon
about it.
once.
Yeah. So if you love golf, magic, you love going down the beach, or you love a stroll down the beach with a dog, it's fantastic. Nice little town. So yeah, nice place.
I think I played Royal Troon once. I say that. I played 7 holes. And I kid you not, it's the only time I've experienced this, and the old cliche, I got all 4 seasons.
Aye.
honestly. So I mean, I was at Newcastle at the time, and Kevin Keegan took the whole team up there. Bunch of us had just started playing golf. This is my first time I've ever played golf. And then we go up to this really nice hotel, really nice golf course. I have no idea what's going on, right?
It'd be the Marine Hotel.
And I kid you not, in 7 holes, it was baking hot, rainy. Hail came down on the 7th, and I thought this is it. I do not like golf this much. I don't know the history of the golf, so never mind this Troon. Don't try to tell me you got to play Troon because of the history. This is my first experience of golf.
Yeah, when the wind,
I just left.
When the wind comes off the
honestly, I've heard that all cliche, you know, you won all 4 seasons in a day in Scotland and all that. It's the first and only time I've ever really experienced it, and it was so true. And when hail came down in 7th, I thought, nah. I'm a Trinidad boy at heart.
Had you known, you could have gone and got some Cullen skink to warm you up.
Good haggis.
Perfect after
Good haggis.
Good haggis.
Oh well, you live and learn.
Ah, well, next time.
Thanks so much for sending in your questions. Thank you, Gab, for being with us, and thanks to Stevie for telling us all about Troon.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, see you next time at ESPN FC.